Hi, my name is Alex Dolphin and welcome back to another episode of Ex Ante. Today we're going to discuss the case of Fisher versus Carrousel Motor Hotel Incorporation. This case is heard in the year 1967 in the state of Texas Supreme Court. Let's go ahead and jump into the facts of the case. So Fisher, the named plaintiff, was an employee of NASA and he found himself at a Carrousel hotel because there was a convention there that he was attending. While he was attending this convention, they had a buffet lunch, like I would imagine a lot of conventions do. Fisher had grabbed his plate and was standing in line to get his lunch. While he was standing in line, the manager of the Carrousel Hotel came up to him and swatted the plate out of his hand and said a racial slur, "Aren't allowed to be served here." So Fisher sued, arguing that what the manager of the Carrousel Hotel did to him constituted a battery. Fisher didn't prevail in the trial court or the Texas appellate court, so he continued to appeal until he reached the Texas Supreme Court, and that's where this decision was made. So the issue is, can battery occur when there's not a physical contact with the actual person's body? Can the contact component of battery be satisfied if someone touches an item that's closely associated with someone's body, like a plate in this case, but doesn't touch that person's actual body? Further, another issue is, can someone bring suit for the mental anguish and suffering that they've experienced? And finally, will Carrousel be held liable for the actions of their employees? Specifically, this manager employee who swatted the plate out of Fisher's hand at the buffet. So the court overturned the lower court's rulings and said that Fisher did have a cause of action for battery against the hotel company. That's because the contact, the court ruled, was satisfied. The contact component of battery was satisfied when the manager from Carrousel Hotel swatted that plate out of his hand. So the court, in essence, created a new rule here, which is that contact and battery can be satisfied if the contact isn't actually with the person's physical body, but with an item closely associated to it. So they returned a ruling in favor of Fisher. Fisher was able to recover, and finally Carrousel was held liable for the action of their manager. So Carrousel was the person who ended up being responsible for paying the damages out to Fisher. All right, so let's go ahead and just jump into some ex ante implications. The precedent of this case is interesting because it expands the battery world and the contact component into allowing people to contact an item closely associated with someone's body rather than just their body itself. And it's mostly the offensive manner that the manager of the Carrousel Hotel contacted Fisher in that allowed us to, allowed Fisher to bring suit, right? Like if the manager would have just bumped the plate out of Fisher's hand, Fisher wouldn't have had a good case. It's because it was intentional and it was meant to cause harm. And that's clear by the words that the manager said after he hit the plate out of his hands. Somewhat, it does though become difficult to draw a line. Like what objects are really closely associated with someone's body and where is that line drawn? So to consider this a little bit more, I'd like to just pose a short hypothetical, which would be like, imagine you're at the gym and you're on a machine that's highly sought after. And this big meathead comes up to you and says, "Oh, I want the machine, you need to get off the machine now." And he pounds the machine, like he starts shaking the machine, but it doesn't shake you. Could you recover from battery, or for battery in this case? Could you sue him and hold him liable for battery? Something to think about. I think that you could, because that machine in this case would be just as closely associated with your body as that plate was. And it's the fact that the gentleman, the meathead rather, in this case came up and started shaking that machine violently, which you were closely associated with because you were on. And that was offensive and harmful to you. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I hope you have a nice rest of your day.